This is Science Friday. I'm Ira Plato. Indiana Jones is getting high tech. Archaeologists deciphered, this was really cool, an ancient scroll by X-rays and an algorithm, or what did they peered inside the scroll without opening it.
Right. This scroll is called the Ein-Gedi scroll, and it's sort of roughly from the same place as the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's about 1,700 years old. And basically what they did was they used a micro CT scan to look into the scroll that had been burned and crushed. It basically looked like a lump of coal. And a micro CT scan is just like a CT scan you get at the hospital, but it's just very high resolution. So they created this high resolution 3D image of what was inside that burned lump. And they used computer algorithms to reconstruct the surfaces of the pages. So imagine a crumpled piece of paper
Right.
and trying to figure out where the surfaces are. And once they knew where the surfaces were, they were able to actually find the points where ink had been put on those pages. And they deciphered it. And they found out it was the first 2 chapters of Leviticus in Hebrew.
Wow. And so they could read it, but first defining the pages, and then because the ink is made out of something, they could trace the ink in it?
Right. It was made somewhat easier because the ink contained some metals, but theoretically, any ink should be visible. And it's just once you find the surface of the paper,
Right.
then you look at the sort of the texture. It's not paper, of course, it's parchment, which is made of animal skin. And then you look at the texture of it, and you can actually find the ink itself. So the researchers who worked on it say that soon they're going to be able to do this even if it doesn't have metal in the ink. So they should be able to maybe read some of the other Dead Sea Scrolls and some other artifacts.
Or read something that you think you might have burned. I mean,
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
You know who's looking at this now, right?
That's right. And in fact, the researchers mentioned that the intelligence community has expressed a lot of interest in this because imagine what you could do. You could read information that was in an envelope. If someone decided to burn evidence now, there's a possibility that you can read it. So there's a lot of implications beyond archaeology for this.
Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you, Annalee.
Thanks for having me.
Annalee Newitz is the tech culture editor for Ars Technica, based out right here in San Francisco.